Words. Speaker Designate Dean Cannon.
First, I want to thank TECO, and I really want to thank Jason and the West Orange Tea Party, West Orlando Tea Party, and the sponsors for the chance to be here today. This is a spiritual day, Pastor and Jason. The comments that you made, it is a political day, and I'll talk about the politics in a moment. But it's an exciting spiritual time in our country because there is a fight going on for the soul of our country and a fight going on for the souls of men and women. And we have an obligation to fight both fights. Just, Jason, as you said so beautifully, the political freedoms we have are like the religious freedoms. The spiritual freedoms that we may have in Christ are not freedoms to do what we want, but they're the freedoms to do right without being attacked. Okay? The freedoms, thank you. The freedoms that are granted to us by God are similar to the freedoms that our founders wrote into the Constitution. And Carrie, you couldn't have said it better. The Constitution is to restrain government power, not expand government power. And the judges, in many cases, have gotten it terribly wrong. But it's an exciting time because of that. And I once heard a pastor say, if you want to really start a revival, draw a 3-foot circle and stand inside of it and pray for revival to happen in that circle. Okay, we've got to do the same thing politically. You're here today because you've already done that. You've taken time out on a weekday to be here. But thank you. Thank you on behalf of me and my colleagues, and I'll talk about a few of those colleagues in a moment that are here today. But it's a tremendous time to be involved in politics. It's not just an exciting spiritual time, but it's an exciting political time. I'm proud to support the values, the beliefs, and the principles of the Tea Party movement. You and I know that the way to keep government strong, or to keep America strong, is to get government out of the way and to let the American entrepreneurial spirit replace it. We don't need and we don't want big government telling us how to run our health care, how to pick our doctor, how to run our lives. We don't need the government using our tax dollars to create more government jobs and call it stimulus. We know that's what we don't want. We're worried about the direction that Obama and Reid and Pelosi are pushing our country, and we're going to work hard to stop their attempt to remake America in the image of their favorite places, which is Western socialist Europe. I'm not going to let that happen, and I don't think you're going to let that happen. With your help and your friends' help, this year we're going to elect individuals in Washington and in the cabinet and in the state house and in local governments. I'm glad my mayor's here and other mayors are here, who will work hard to cut government spending, to restrain government, to reel it in. It's gotten out of control, to lower our taxes, and to fire up the engine of freedom, which is the small businessman and businesswoman, that individual, so that they, not the government, can create jobs and help their fellow Americans, but we cannot do it without your help. And there is something specific you can do. Jason mentioned it, and I want to reiterate it, because it's personal to me. The Tea Party movement, the sincere movement based on the constitutional principles of limited government and the things we all believe in, is under attack from Democrats associated with Alan Grayson. Dan Webster can tell you that. I can tell you that. Many of the members of the newly formed TEA political party are former Democrats, and they're trying to confuse voters and lure conservative voters away from sincere conservatives on the ballot. That's cynical and it's not appropriate. I've got a candidate like that running against me. Dan Webster has one like that running against him. My colleagues in the Florida House who are here, Representative Eric Eisnagel, Representative Steve Precourt, Representative Brian Nelson, Representative Chris Dorworth, they're facing that. So I would ask you to tell everybody you know that when you see TEA on the ballot, that is not the Tea Party movement. That is not the people that you represent who are here, who believe in the principles we share. And getting that message out is important. You shouldn't be confused. And the right to vote is one of the most sacred rights we have. It shouldn't be abused, and people shouldn't be deceived in the exercise of it. I want to end with a word of gratitude. Gratitude is an element missing from our societal fabric, from our political fabric, and I want to say thank you, because you don't hear that enough from your elected officials. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for getting active, for getting revived. Thank you for the privilege for all of us to serve. It is a privilege and an honor, and one that we take with great seriousness. Thank you for getting involved in this election season. We got 32 days to go, and by all accounts, it's going to be a really great election day. But that will only be because of your help, and may it just be a fantastic celebration on election night. May God bless you, may God bless our country, and may God bless the great state of Florida. Thank you.